Oscars are this weekend and predictions are flying about who will take home the gold statue. So we are turning to Rotten Tomatoes for some insight this morning. Editor Jacqueline Coley joins us today. Good morning.
Thank you for having me, Carly.
So I know this has got to be like your Super Bowl. So how excited are we for this weekend?
Absolutely excited. You're exactly right. This is my Super Bowl. It's Oscars' biggest night, Hollywood's biggest night, and very excited for this year especially because it's kind of a wide open Best Picture race.
Yeah, well, and let's talk about this. My first thought, what is your thought on no host this year, by the way? When is the last time there hasn't been a host?
Actually, I think it was over 20 years ago was the last time we didn't have a host, sometime in the 80s. And honestly, I'm actually for it. I think that the feedback that the Academy has gotten this year more than anything is they just want to see the 24 categories. They want to see it done quickly. I am like, bits are great, but I don't need selfies. I just want to know who won, and I want to see that. And I think that's going to help it for this year. All the changes they made were to make it a shorter show and boost ratings, and no host gives you both of those things, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about some of the winners, some of your predictions. Where do you want to start this morning? Best Picture? You want to go with the big one?
Actually, let's go with the old ones because Best Picture is the only one that, you know, kind of has anything to talk about. So let's do supporting because I really do love the two supporting front runners.
Who's your vote?
Yes. So Mahershala Ali and Regina King are the two I think will take it home because they are the odds-on favorite. They've been the most honored. Regina got the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globes. Mahershala has pretty much swept all the categories that he's been in. And when I was at the Oscar nominees brunch a few weeks ago, they were the two that got the loudest break for applause among the Academy voters that were there that day. So I think it's theirs to lose in both those categories.
Okay, I believe that. Yeah, if they got a big vote from the actual voters, then I believe you there. All right, so best support or best actor then in both categories.
So Best Actor, I really think is going to go to Rami Malek for his performance in Bohemian Rhapsody as Freddie Mercury. This movie was loved by audience, and his performance is loved by both audiences and the Academy. Again, another one that swept pretty much the major awards. He got the Critics' Choice. He also won the BAFTA, the SAG Award. People really love what he did to transform himself into Freddie Mercury, so I think it's his to lose.
Well, and I'm interested, do you think there's going to be any big shockers this year that someone, I mean, obviously, if you knew that, it wouldn't be a shock, but, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that's really going to surprise people?
I think now the adapted and original screenplay awards are really kind of wide open. Recently, the WGAs were on, I think, Sunday night, and Can You Ever Forgive Me, a film that kind of faded from the conversation, took home the best adapted screenplay, and Eighth Grade, which was not even nominated by the Academy, took home best original. So when you're looking at a film like Green Book or Roma or Vice, who are all nominated there, and the fact that they lost, it kind of opens up the race. So I think the writing categories are open. On the adapted side, you have Spike Lee, who a lot of folks think will win, but there's also Barry Jenkins for If Beale Street Could Talk, and also, again, Can You Ever Forgive Me? So those are the ones where I think you may see a lot of surprises. And Best Picture. Best Picture is really out there as far as who could win. A lot of folks are betting on Roma, but it could fall to one of the others.
Yeah. Any big snubs that you think you're still not over? You're like, hey, why were they not nominated this year as we get ready to wrap up?
Yeah, I've mostly made my peace for the fact that If Beale Street Could Talk was not nominated for Best Picture. I will be even more made my peace if Barry Jenkins wins for adapted and Regina King wins for supporting, and the beautiful score by Nicholas Britell wins for Best Score. Then I will make my peace a little bit slightly better, but yeah, that's the biggest snub for me.
Where are you watching the big show as we close?
So I will be just about, maybe 20 feet away from where they're announcing the awards, but I will be buried in my laptop trying to file news pieces, and then I'm going to bed. I'm not going to do anything else. It's been a long season.
I'm sure it has. Well, thank you so much. We enjoyed our conversation this morning.
Thank you for having me, Carly.